Now we're going to actually kind of walk through all these pieces, and I'm going to go back and forth between the slide deck and the application itself here. If you get lost at any point, just tell me to slow down. But if you can, I'd like to have everyone log in if you're able to, and just try to kind of follow along with me as I do some of this. Is everyone logged in? So I'm on cases. I'm going to come in. I'm going to create a new case. I've created some sample users in the sample store here. This is going to be a case about bagging problems and breaking eggs. This is a concern. The reason is service. We'll say that the origin was email. Status is new. And we're going to go ahead and save this case. All right. So now our case is available. We can see, all right, you know, there's a bagging problem. Somebody's eggs got broken. And so we need to be able to respond back to that customer. And so if it's our first day on the job, we might be tempted just to stream of conscious, write something down and shoot it out to them. But that's probably not the best solution. So one of the first things that we could do is try to lean on the experiences of the support community at large, and I can go find an article. So when I click this, what's happening is it's going in and trying to match the text in the case to the text that's available within the Knowledge Management Center. So here we are. It's pulled back a whole bunch of different options here. And so I can come in and take a look at these and go in and go, okay, well, you know, is this appropriate to my situation or not? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If I decide that it is, I can always, sorry, overclicked. If I decide that that this is something that I do want to use to help me resolve my case, I can just attach it to the case. All right, and so then when I come back across here, you can see now this article is available to me to help solve my issue. Now, if this wasn't maybe the right solution for me, and this is part of embedding, you know, this idea of building knowledge as a community, I could actually, based right off of this case, I can come in and create a new article of type. And we're going to get deeper into this later, but for the purposes of today's exercise, an FAQ is publicly available for us. It's something that probably has a little bit more formal language and is going to be publicly searchable. And in this case, you know, standard language is something that we use internally to help understand what the issue is, maybe pull things out of it to send responses. So, you know, the idea here would be that, you know, maybe we want to develop our own standard language knowledge article. I could just choose the type, click on it, and it pulls me right into an environment where I can start authoring, instead of just authoring a point solution to that particular customer's problem, I could actually come in here and author my own solution that could then be shared by others. And so I'd come in and put in a title. It'll give me a URL string. I can create a summary of the article once I've written it, and then put my text in here. It's I can use this rich text editor. You can actually you can embed media here. It's a very rich experience that you're able to deliver out to the end user. I can choose categorization, so we'll talk in more depth about this, but again, you know, this idea of trying to help provide roadmaps to people. So if I wanted to categorize bagging problems within our standard language options, I can come in here and look at what are the what are the options that are available to me and try to choose the most appropriate one. Now you'll notice that I don't, in this case, I can't add categories right from this menu. I actually have to go into setup and configure. These data categories are very tightly managed because it is such an important part of how users find information. So in this case, I'm not sure what I would choose here, maybe miscellaneous issues since I can't think of anything. Probably not the greatest selection. You guys should work harder at this. But I'm going to use miscellaneous issues. And then you would just come in, write in what you need. And then over here on the left, you can see these are the properties. So it's been assigned to me because I'm actually the person who set it up. But I could, and I'll show you how to do this later, you can actually assign a stub to somebody, and maybe they have expertise in a particular area, and you can assign them. You can actually put a due date on it on when you want the draft back. So it's kind of part of your overall knowledge management process. And then you can see here, this is all your sort of key properties. It's publishing status is draft, means nobody can get access to it. The type is standard language. Again, a really important part because oftentimes that helps determine visibility. You can see who last modified it. So if I have an issue with it, I know where to go start hunting. And then you can see here are these categories. I'm not going to categorize this one in terms of the FAQ category because I'm actually not going to use it there. I'm just going to use it within standard language. And I'm going to make it available only to the internal app and not to any of these other channels. So really important here is this public knowledge base because putting it out into that space obviously is something that you want to really tightly control. And I want to just call your attention to one other thing. This right here, where it says sensitive information, this is not standard. This is something that I actually built, and I'll show you how to do that. This is just a field that I added, and it becomes really important later because what I've done is created a workflow that leverages this flag to control how much review is required before a knowledge management article can be published. So I'm actually going to, even though maybe this wouldn't be sensitive, I'm going to flag it so that we can kind of see how that works later on. So oops. All right. So I'm going to save it. I probably should hit save and close since we're going to navigate away from there. So let's try that one more time. Save and close. So now I'm back on my case. It's not published, so I actually can't use it for that one. But that's okay because I have this available right here. It's attached to the case, and if I want to, if I need to reach out to this customer and leverage that article, I can do that. So if I wanted to send an email, maybe select one of our standard templates. I can come in and well, let's choose one okay. So what I did is I selected a template that has a merge tag that actually pulls in this article, and so I can then go ahead and I can send this to the customer, and they actually get this, very polished, nice view of the article that we created. And so you can see here, if I go in and pull in this this email, we've got our nice standard language here in the mail template, and then we've got a nice PDF version of the article we were using. So that's just one of the uses of articles. Obviously, we could just use it as a place to cut and paste from. We could use it as a way to just help provide us with some background information so that we can better service the issue. There are a lot of different angles to come at support challenges using knowledge, and this is just one of them. So let's say, you know, I've been able to resolve this case. I can actually come in and I can close the case. And so this is a closed case page layout. It's a little bit different than the other page layouts that we've seen. But if I were to submit this, it actually submits it as a potential article. As we move down the road, it'll actually submit it into a draft article state. So that's a way for us to actually get cases out of closing inquiries that come up while we're working with the end customer. So I didn't step through, you know, the whole support process there. I took some shortcuts so that we could kind of see the things that we were interested in. But that's sort of a very abbreviated version of how you would use an article to solve a case issue. So you see back here, we searched for it, we looked at what was available, we attached it. But one thing that we didn't do is we didn't look at, when we looked at this article, we didn't rate it. You know, I don't know how helpful was this stuff. Did it have gaps that we needed to address? So I could actually come in here and I could say, you know, it was pretty helpful. I have a little bit of feedback though. You know, and I could maybe even look in here. You know, it's not sensitive, but I could say at really as I'm just saying here, you know, I think the language needs to be less formal. I think it would play better with our customers, whatever it is. You know, whatever feedback you might have, I can actually kind of collaborate around this article, and you know, we can start to have an exchange around how to make this better and more useful for the customer. You know, Chatter is something that you know, kind of is a thread that ties together so much of the Salesforce ecosystem. And here we're just using it to facilitate collaboration around a specific article and make it a little bit better for everybody else. So you guys, we've kind of used Chatter to the most part, to this point, just to sort of collaborate around ideas, things like this. We're collaborating directly on a specific object and trying to make this thing better. So, so here, this last piece here, this rate and collaborate, is so important because it's what drives the evolution over time of your knowledge base. So,